Storytelling is so important to Indigenous history. Our native land tells those stories.
I never would have imagined myself being here to have done all that I have.
And that's what Lekwungen actually means, is we are people of the smoked herring.
How are we bringing those nations on board and that they are going to be a part of this conversation?
It's like the biggest runway in Canada.
My God, I'm so excited.
Our native land Saturdays at 6:30 on CHEK and CHEK Plus.
It's definitely been difficult. There's been rising costs all across the board.
A pressure cooker for many restaurants here on the island and across the country. The ugly numbers show many won't make it in this climate. Tens of thousands lining the streets of the capital today to take in the 126th Victoria Day Parade. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Right now, most people are feeling the pain of the rising costs of living, grocery, gas, and daily life. Very few would not be feeling the squeeze in this current economic climate. And new numbers show some industries, like restaurants, they're at a breaking point here on the island and beyond. Chattis Leo reports.
We're just missing a side salad for that donaire.
No, look down.
Down, thank you.
Through the past at Esquimalt Sax Point Public House, owner Damien Marino works with staff to bring out tasty food and drinks for patrons who've decided to go out and support their local restaurant.
Need another beer over there?
No, I've had enough.
You want me to cut you off, yeah?
Despite a busy bar, the way restaurateurs like Marino have to operate is ever changing, with the cost of living going up for many who frequent his establishment.
It's definitely been difficult. There's been rising costs all across the board.
And those costs are creating the restaurant industry's breaking point, according to new data from Restaurants Canada. The director of Agri-Food Analytics Lab at Dalhousie University says sales can look strong on paper, but operators say costs are eating away profits.
Like, a lot of people are putting more money into their cars. In fact, the average family right now will have to spend about $15 more on fuel this year related to transportation.
Charlebois says several major pressures are hitting the food and hospitality industry at the same time. Oil prices are climbing amid growing instability in the Middle East, and fertilizer costs continue to swing unpredictably. With so much more affordability pressures for restaurant owners and consumers, he says many operators are no longer talking about profitability and focusing more on survival. In some cases, charging more per plate with less people coming through the door.
We estimated that in January, we had 87,000 restaurants in Canada. That number will drop to 83,000. So a net loss of 4,000.
Everybody doing okay over here?
Back at the pub,
You guys are good. We're dancing.
adjustments have to be made to secure margins. But Marino knows it's a dance between profitability and affordability for him and the customers.
With all these new fuel charges, fuel surcharges, and all these kind of things, we're finding that, a bag of onions has gone up 30%. A box of tomatoes has gone up 50%. So it's been really difficult.
Restaurant owners like Marino say the challenge now is not just serving good food, it's finding a way to keep the lights on without pricing customers out. Well, here on the island, you are likely noticing the low tides recently, giving people a chance to see marine life hidden from view normally. Well, today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, some big tides to witness. Spring tides occur when the sun, moon, and our planet are in a line, combining the gravitational pull, producing higher and lower tides. It presents an amazing moment for beachcombing and learning about some sea life we don't normally witness. But there's also dangers, everything from people touching animals that are not normally visible and natural threats. As Dean Stoltz shows us, it was life and death for a pod of dolphins along our island's coast, thanks to low tides.
At one of the lowest tides of the year today, you can see this tide pool just off the Qualicum Beach shoreline. And it was in this cut-off pool of water where about 15 white-sided dolphins garnered significant attention on Saturday.
Went to my husband, I said, there's dolphins that are stranded and we need to go right now and we need to see if we can help.
She'd read about the dolphins on a Facebook page called Comox Valley Wildlife Sightings and went to see them for herself. She moved to the island from Manitoba last August and is still wowed by the island every day.
It was surreal being from the prairies. I didn't even know we had dolphins. So yeah, it was cool to see them.
Someone from Fisheries and Oceans Canada was already on site monitoring the dolphins and said they appeared to be in good condition.
I said, like, should we get shovels? He's like, there's way too much sand for us to do that.
Ready to do anything.
I was like, we need to help.
So how did the dolphins end up entrapped in the tide pool? This expert says they may have been chasing food when they became entrapped when the tide went out, or
what's also possible and perhaps even more likely is that there were killer whales around and these dolphins were trying to hide from the orcas.
It was cool. In a sense, I felt bad because they were stranded, but they were so close and we could see them close up. And
Jared Tower says it's not uncommon for dolphins to come close to shore when they're trying to evade predators, but that getting entrapped like this is.
But it is very interesting. It's novel. You know, it's not often that Pacific white-sided dolphins get entrapped, and especially in a tide pool. I mean, this is a very novel case.
You'd think they're smarter than that, right?
Well, I think a lot of the smartest animals on the planet do silly things from time to time. And entrapment's a good example of that.
The dolphins eventually escape when the tide comes in, and the entire experience an unforgettable one for Samantha Dueck.
the island is beyond my imaginations. It's just wild.
People and businesses are facing big fines for not being bear aware in Ucluelet. A new bylaw adopted this week carries a fine of up to $50,000. The region is trying to tackle human and wildlife conflicts. Last month, an off-leash dog was lured and killed by wolves at a popular walking spot. Since then, the community has hired a wildlife safety and response officer. For more information on that bylaw and what safety steps are being taken for people and animals, we have a full article up on our website at cheknews.ca. Well, another day, another rupture in U.S.-Canada relations. The latest out of Washington, D.C., and what this means for the future of Canada's military and its relationship with the U.S.
I'm Tess Van Straten, and your full island forecast is coming up. But first, here's a look at weather around the world this Victoria Day. Showers in 21 in Victoria, Malta, 12 and mainly cloudy in Queenstown, New Zealand, and showers in 28 in Queen Victoria, Mauritius.
Weather around the world is brought to you by ComSense Cabinets. Designed for your space, built for your life.
At California Closets, every project is personalized, custom designed, and installed by true craftsmen. That's the California Closets difference. We call it practical magic. Get started with a free design consultation.
Come to Lower Fisgard Street for Awakening Chinatown, May 31st. This lively street festival celebrates culture and community with music, dance, food, and family-friendly fun. Learn more at victoriachinatownmuseum.com.
Severe discomfort, cramps? Then talk to your doctor about Shakopedic. It's not a pill, it's a furniture collection. Available exclusively at The Brick.
Common side effects may include relaxation and extreme comfort.
Talk to a furniture consultant at The Brick to find out if Shakopedic is right for you.
Now's a great time to set goals to reach your financial success.
Maybe you want to make a few updates to your home.
Or anything else you've been dreaming of accomplishing. How would you use $80, $280, or even $2.8 million?
Call us today.
CapitalDirect.ca.
At CHEK, we're all about community, and this year we're taking it to new heights.
We're the CHEK mates.
Because every good move is better together.
And because she needs help getting up hills.
It's true. Join us for Power to Summit, where teens will climb the equivalent elevation of Mount Everest anywhere you like.
Stairs, trails, even your neighborhood hill.
All in support of Power to Be's inclusive outdoor programs, making outdoor adventures accessible to everyone.
Let's make it to the top together.
Register or donate today.
This CHEK program is brought to you in part by Real Rug Washing by Loverrug.com. Fall in love with your rugs all over again.
Authorities in California saying today that 3 adults were killed in a shooting at the Islamic Center of San Diego. The FBI saying 2 suspects, both teens, also dead. San Diego's police chief saying one of the deceased adults was a security guard and the attack is being considered a hate crime. Washington is leaving an advisory group that works on U.S.-Canada defense policy, stating that our country has failed to make credible progress on its defense commitments. Aaron Collin has more from Washington.
Canada-U.S. relations taking another hit this holiday Monday. This time, an official at the U.S. Department of Defense taking a shot at Canada's defense spending online. U.S. Undersecretary of War Elbridge Colby posting on social media that unfortunately Canada has failed to make credible progress on its defense commitments. Colby adding the U.S. will now step back from the Permanent Joint Board on Defense. That organization helping Canada and the U.S. to coordinate the defense of North America for decades. The U.S. position baffling a former Canadian co-chair of the board.
My initial reaction is stupid foolishness. Once again, the Americans want to talk to themselves instead of talking to other people. And this is just a regrettable decision on the part of the Americans because it was a useful organization for 80 plus years.
Well, the board is an example of Canadian and U.S. soldiers working together. NORAD, the Joint Air Defense Command, came out of the meetings. Experts say it's hard to know why the U.S. is stepping away now.
I think there's a few different reasons. This could be a forcing function in a way to try to get Canada to buy more American gear, including fighter jets, submarines. But at the same time, it could just be this is what happened today. I wouldn't read too much into the timing of it. I think Canada has been clear about meeting its NATO defense spending targets. It hit 2% earlier this spring. It's on track to hit the increased targets. And so I'm not sure there's a specific reason behind the timing versus this is more just indicative of broader strain in the bilateral relationship.
Well, the move comes as tensions between Canada and the U.S. remain high, months after Prime Minister Mark Carney spoke in Davos about a rupture in the world order, upsetting President Trump. Now, the CBC asked the U.S. Defense Department why it had decided to act now, but a department official provided no clarity. Of course, all of this comes as the two countries are working to get a new free trade agreement done as well. Today's developments, another example of how much the Canada-U.S. relationship continues to change in real time.
A Canadian remains in hospital tonight after testing positive for hantavirus. The individual is one of 4 Canadians isolating in our province after traveling on a cruise ship where an outbreak took place. Now that ship has docked in the Dutch port of Rotterdam and will undergo a full decontamination.
The MV Hondius has arrived in Rotterdam. It pulled into port Monday. 25 crew and 2 medical staff were still on board. The Dutch National Institute for Public Health and the Environment said none were showing symptoms.
We have a doctor and a nurse aboard from the Netherlands. They have taken blood samples, and as soon as the vessel is arriving in the Rotterdam port, then these test material will go to the lab for testing.
The doctor and nurse will isolate at home in the Netherlands. Quarantine facilities were set up for the non-Dutch crew members. It's not clear if they will remain there for the full recommended 42 days. The cruise ship will be thoroughly disinfected by a specialized company, which is expected to take 3 to 4 days.
So the next couple of weeks, they will be going into medical monitoring. That means that there's a daily check of their medical situation by the Public Health Service. This will be done in quarantine because if they develop illness, they are infectious and we want to prevent any further spread.
3 people have died from the Andes strain of the hantavirus that spread on the MV Hondius. A French woman is in hospital in critical condition. Over the weekend, Canadian health officials said a person from Yukon who had been isolating in British Columbia tested positive. They were taken to hospital along with 2 others who had been staying in the same lodging facility.
Infectious diseases do tend to become international events, and we can no longer think about a local response. We need to think about a global response in terms of vaccine sharing when that's necessary, sharing medical resources when that becomes necessary, and having a clear plan for what to do if a new virus or disease happens to emerge at some point in the future.
9 Canadians are believed to have high-risk exposure to the virus, including passengers of the MV Hondius and their close contacts. All of them are isolating in Alberta, Ontario, and BC. Another 26 Canadians who were on a plane with a confirmed case are considered low risk.
An historical landmark in Dawson City, Yukon is now gone. A fire destroyed the Westminster Hotel on Sunday. Crews battled the flames for hours as a thick smoke blanketed the area. No one was injured. Residents, though, saying they were in shock over losing the beloved community hub, home to the pub The Pit. Just months ago, the hotel survived a flood caused by a water main break. The hotel was built in 1898 during the Klondike Gold Rush. The silver lining here on that story, though, Tess, is that I believe that it had a fire years ago because I spent time at that hotel, and I believe that it's been rebuilt. So hopefully the community comes together and rebuilds it again. What a stunning day out there today in our part of the world, and certainly perfect weather for a parade.
Perfect parade weather, Scott. Nice to see that sunshine for us. Some parts of the island had a little more cloud cover than the South Island, and we did see some building cloud cover this afternoon, some storm-ish looking clouds. But at this point, just a chance of precipitation for most areas of the island. You can see we're still dealing with some convective clouds here, so unsettled conditions. That's into Tuesday, a little more cloud cover building, and then it starts to move on away from the island into Wednesday. Very clear conditions as we head into Wednesday morning, and then just some isolated cloud patches during the day Wednesday, but some areas likely a chance of drizzle or shower activity in the forecast over the next 24 hours or so before things get a lot drier, at least for most of the island. Now, the North Island, a little bit of an exception to that, though. So tonight, periods of rain. After that ends, you have about a 60% chance of showers or drizzle. And then tomorrow in the forecast, a 40% chance of drizzle or showers in the morning and into the early afternoon. After that, you should be dry at least, but looking at a mix of sun and cloud or mainly cloudy conditions, depending where you are. Some fog patches developing this evening as well. Temperature-wise, still a little flat for the northern tip, 13, 14 degrees as those daytime highs. So not as warm as the rest of the island, but we are seeing a bit of a warm up this week throughout Vancouver Island. Here's a look at the west coast picture. So partly cloudy conditions tonight right across the board, but inland areas like Gold River and Port Alberni, Lake Cowichan have a 30% chance of overnight showers and then a 30% chance of showers again tomorrow afternoon. In the case of Tofino, Ucluelet and other coastal areas, just a small chance of drizzle for you tomorrow morning. Otherwise, looking at mainly cloudy conditions in the forecast for tomorrow. Temperature-wise, pretty good though, mid-teens for the coast, around that 19 or even 20 degree mark for inland locations. East Island and Campbell River, it depends where you are what you're going to see. So Nanaimo south down to the Cowichan Valley, looking at partly cloudy conditions tonight, partly cloudy for Powell River as well. And then Parksville north to Campbell River, there's a 30% chance of early evening showers, otherwise likely mainly cloudy conditions for this part of the East Island. And then tomorrow, a 30% chance of drizzle or shower activity. So drizzle more likely in the morning, 30% chance of showers in the afternoon for you. Powell River also has that 30% chance of drizzle in the morning. Otherwise, shifting to a mix of sun and cloud for Powell River. All areas of the East Island, though, we are looking at cloudy or mainly cloudy conditions for tomorrow. And then Nanaimo south to the Cowichan Valley has a small chance of drizzle and showers in the forecast tomorrow as well. Down to the South Island, partly cloudy skies tonight. Some areas may see a little more cloud cover than others, though. Port Renfrew has a small chance of drizzle tomorrow morning. Otherwise, cloudy conditions or mainly cloudy. And then Greater Victoria, we are looking at a mix of sun and cloud. It might start off a little cloudier for some places and then shifting to that mix of sun and cloud throughout the day. Mid-teen temperatures for most areas, a little bit warmer for Salt Spring in the forecast. And then winds from the southwest, about 20 kilometers an hour to 30 for most areas. Tonight, it's gusting up to 60 by 1 to Fuca Strait. And then tomorrow, looking at those winds in the 30 to 50 kilometer an hour range, again from the southwest. Zooming out across the province, Vancouver likely will start the day cloudy, but then shift to a mix of sun and cloud after that. So sunnier afternoon for you there. Mainly cloudy conditions for the Fraser Valley, sunshine into Osoyoos, and Kamloops looking at some shower activity mixed in, as well as Kelowna, and then showers or a chance of showers for Bella Coola, Williams Lake, Prince George, and Cranbrook as well. Zooming out across the country, Prince Rupert, mix of sun and cloud, Haida Gwaii as well. We have a frost warning for a large chunk of Alberta and parts of Saskatchewan as well. So chilly conditions overnight, thunderstorm risk as well through Alberta, parts of northern BC also looking at that thunderstorm risk. Into Saskatchewan and Manitoba, chance of shower activity, bit of a range in temperature, so pretty spring-like conditions, except for parts of northern Ontario. There is a snowfall warning for parts of northern Ontario, so winter weather still hitting there, while other parts of Ontario have summer temperatures. So temperatures in the high 20s into the 30s in the case of Ottawa. Risk of thunderstorms for some of those regions as well. And humid conditions in Atlantic Canada, bit of a mix. So stormy possibly for Fredericton, cooler for St. John's, and then a mix of sun and cloud with a chance of showers for Charlottetown and Halifax. All right, here's the long range forecast for the North Island. So after that, Chance of showers in the forecast for tomorrow. Warmer conditions finally for you Wednesday and Thursday, looking at partly cloudy conditions for at least a few days. And then Saturday, that mix of sun and cloud and a small chance of showers, but you cool off a little bit. And then periods of rain on Sunday with a new system. So it's a very brief and very small warm up you're getting for the Central Island. And this is the East Island forecast after that chance of precipitation tomorrow and cloudier conditions into the sunshine for Wednesday and warmer. And then partly cloudy conditions Thursday. Lots of sunshine Friday and Saturday. So next weekend is looking good, and then partly cloudy for Sunday. For the South Island, we also have a little bit of a warm up as well. We're right around seasonal for the most part temperature wise, but we'll be back up into the 20s. So after that mix of sun and cloud tomorrow, the wind may make it feel a bit cooler by the water. Into warmer conditions for Wednesday with lots of sunshine, then partly cloudy for Thursday, still around that 20-degree mark Friday with lots of sunshine, and then a mix of sun and clouds Saturday and Sunday. At this point, just a small chance of showers Sunday. Hopefully we get some though, because at this point the Victoria airport's only had 1.7 millimeters of precipitation so far this month. All right, here is a look at today's Country Grocer celebrations. Happy 90th birthday to Jean Taraposki of Port Alberni. Best wishes to Donna Chadwick of Maple Bay on her 92nd birthday. 98th birthday greetings go to Carlisle Graham of Pitt Meadows, and all the best to Neil and Irene Arneson of Sydney as they celebrate their 63rd anniversary. Congratulations to Dave and Marlene Cook of Port Alberni on their 64th anniversary today. 64th anniversary greetings also go out to Edward and Velma Higgins of Parksville, and a very happy 70th anniversary to Dave and Doris Wakelin of West Kelowna as they mark this amazing milestone. And for our Victoria Day weather photo, we have something a little different. Joan Garlick sent in this shot from the Chemainus Senior Center of Kay Porter, dressed as their queen today and wearing a very impressive crown. And while we're on the topic of head adornments, who wore it best? The CHEK microphone in the tartan chapeau for the Highland Games or Cha-Cha?
I think the microphone's more comfortable.
Yes. Well, Cha-Cha was too busy kissing you to
I don't think she likes the
hat.
I think she likes the vest.
She likes the vest. Yeah, it's comfort. It gives her comfort to have like a
yes,
sweater
I can see
or
that.
something
I think
on.
the hat, she's kind of
I
like...
think it was the neck strap where the microphone didn't mind the neck strap.
Pushes her ears
as
down.
much. Yeah, she did look cuter in it.
She looks way better in it. The microphone's more comfortable in it.
All right.
Both very cute.
Tie, I guess? It's a tie.
It's a tie. When we come back, we're going to be talking more about the Victoria Day Parade. Huge success for the tens of thousands of people that made their way down. We'll have some highlights and sights and sounds when we come back.
Tonight on CHEK, catch Chamber Chats at 5:30, followed by CHEK News at 6. Rob Shaw hosts Political Capital at 6:30, and then at 7 we have Wheel of Fortune, followed by Jeopardy! At 8, it's the game show Password.
Welcome back to the 90s, where play went next level. This was the era of street sports, big teams, and endless after-school adventures. Recreation grew, families got moving, and our centers became the place to connect. Rewind, refresh, recreate. Relive the fun at West Shore Parks and Recreation.
Feel right at home with the Comfort Group.
Whether it's cold or hot outside, you need comfort inside. From Victoria to Campbell River, the Comfort Group is the name homeowners trust for total home comfort. Delivering heating and cooling built for the island climate, the Comfort Group is your local heat pump expert. Heating, cooling, and electrical. Trusted comfort for every home, for every season. The Comfort Group.
There's lots going on. I'm Sandra Richardson. Here's your Victoria Foundation Community Check-In.
Every dollar raised from the Victoria Kidney Walk powers programs and services for the 1 in 10 Canadians living with kidney disease. To register or donate, visit kidneywalk.ca. Get a sneak peek into the gardens and studios of local Saanich artists at this self-guided tour. For an interactive map, visit scatteredartists.ca. Come out and support the veterans and families at Branch 37's Community Barbecue with good food, friendly faces, and a whole lot of community spirit. It's boot stompin' fun for all ages, a family-led fundraiser featuring music from Whiskey Business, Good Eats, and Big Heart, all in support of Simon's Cure MPS Research Fund. Artists and creatives in Fernwood will once again open their studios, homes, and gardens to the public. Visit fernwoodartstroll.ca for an interactive studio map.
That's a Victoria Foundation community check-in from your local foundation.
New McCafe Refreshers. A rush of vibrant flavors. Icy cool and undeniably refreshing. Part of the new McCafe lineup from McDonald's.
At Jenner, it's our promise to give your family the best deal from the best people on a new Chevrolet Bolt or Equinox EV. Our 45th anniversary continues to go green at Jenner Chevrolet Buick GMC, still on the old on highway.
Don't hold back, cause you woke up in the morning with initiative to move, so I make it harder. Don't hold back. Galvanize.
Trajectory and balance look good. You're confirmed to go for orbit.
Every day, Michelin innovates to move the world forward on the road and far beyond. Michelin, motion for life.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Island Eye Care in Victoria. Do your eyes itch, water, or burn? You may be suffering from dry eye. Get real answers and say goodbye to dry eye.
As Tess has been talking about, it's been a beautiful day. It was a beautiful morning for the parade, a huge success for the 126th Victoria Day Parade, record-breaking entries, tens of thousands of people making their way down. Incredible work by the crews here at CHEK, who were able to broadcast and bring this to you live. And of course, it'll be on CHEK Plus as well if you want to look back on the stream. And it's going to re-air in July, and we'll keep you up to date on that date if you didn't get a chance to see it today, but it'll still be on our streaming service at CHEK Plus. In the meantime, we'll leave you with some sights and sounds as we say goodnight on this holiday Monday.
From pop music legend Cyndi Lauper, the Tony and Grammy-winning feel-good best musical about seizing your destiny and being who you want to be.